Hi, this is Alken, and welcome back to my channel. I'm in Michelle's room, more formerly known as Michelle's room. Um, well, you can see the white overalls on the side. This was her closet. Anyway, speaking of stuff hiding in a closet, we had to get to the Fani Willis and Nathan Wade situation. Around 9:15 tomorrow morning, at Fulton County's courtroom, Judge McCafferty, uh, Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade got to spill the beans about what was going on between these two. That it's now interfering with the Trump 2020 election interference case. As you may know, back in January 8th, a defendant who should not have been there in the first place. But Fannie Willis insists on putting this guy as a defendant in this case. That was her own doing and downfall, by the way. Um, Found out about Nathan Wade's and Fannie's inconceivable ways of indicting each other, as somebody would say. And oh gosh, using taxpayers' money for romantic rendezvous. Uh, the song Secret Lovers, yes, that's what they are. I'm going to spare the details on that song for obvious reasons. Um, yeah, there were secret lovers. Now they're saying that, all this was phony baloney. There was nothing to it. That was not true. By now, by Monday, we have, this Monday, we have more than enough concrete evidence that yes, there was an affair going on. Yes, some money might have been misappropriated, and yes, they still must have been lying because they're changing paperwork and stuff that they swore to faster than you could switch faster than you could switch a pair of underwear. Yeah. Well, since then they say there was nothing to it. There was no such thing as an affair and so on. Now we know by now that Nathan Wade was staying with Fannie Willis for some time until her father moved in and kicked them out, and they had some kind of safe house for a while. And they try to say they were splitting the bills half and half and so on, but not a lot of people are buying it. Especially now, you got people coming forward, some whistleblowers, some friends. Well, not friends after this. Um, Ready to testify on tomorrow what was really going on behind the scenes, and some spicy details. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. It makes you want to have that. I think it's a TLC song. Not sure, or in Vogue. Nothing's in Vogue. You're never gonna get it. No, they don't. They're never gonna get it. No, they don't. They're never gonna get it. Well, they don't get it, but that's okay. The judge will make them get it. This might be the the hearing that's going to decide if there's enough evidence to disqualify both Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade from doing the case, but also the whole Fulton County DA's office might be disqualified from continuing this case. They say that at first that it wasn't going to affect the case against Donald Trump and the other 18 defendants, but looks like now it's beginning to look like that yes, this might in fact end this case. Because they think that they were benefiting from the case financially to the point that that's maybe why they were try to get as many people as they could to make a big payout for them. And well, it's not working out. I mean, she went to church and she said, "Oh, they're coming after me because I'm black," and she did this sermon and on Martin Luther King Day, and I mean near Martin Luther King Day, and saying, "Oh Lord, don't you think they're playing the rest card instead of me?" Something like that. Um, Mrs. Wade, as last I check, she's not white. So I don't know how she's played the race card where she's just as. I don't know. I don't want to put the skin color in here because I can't say if they're the same or different tones. It's like that Spike Lee joint movie. Lighter skin and the darker skin, they don't get along for some reason. If you saw that movie, you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Um, in fact, Fani Willis was threatening to have both Mrs. Wade and her lawyer thrown in jail for interfering with the trunk case because she thought that's what was going on, or she thought she could get away with throwing her weight around and the office of the DA to scare the crap out of them. But what happened? Mrs. Wade produced receipts, says Taylor Swift would say, from one of her albums. And, well, yes, including the receipts were airline tickets with both Nathan Wade and Fani Willis' name on it. It turns out Mr. Wade was using the money also from his account that he still shares with his wife. She's not divorced yet, or whenever it was, and he kept leaving the account high and dry, overdrawn, and so on. And all these bills are coming in on the statements. And he was in trouble with the court in Cobb County because he wasn't cooperating with them, including the financial situation. He wasn't telling anybody that he was making money off the trunk case. He didn't want to add that to his soon-to-be ex-wife's settlement. He also was saying that there was no such affair was going on, but recently he had to change that to plead the fifth on two of these questions. So, yeah, Nathan implicated himself, and so did Fani Willis, because they're not supposed to lie. They're the officers of the court, so they're in big trouble. So, adultery is a felony in Georgia, as far as I know. Lying and perjury is not so great. Getting in trouble in divorce court is bad enough, but then when you have the paper sealed, and it turns out that was not legal to do that, so we don't know who the judge was that did that, but I know that judge is probably in trouble too. And some of Nathan Wade's friends might be testifying against him too. So this is a pretty big situation. The credit card bills and the trips and so on. And they said that the affair didn't happen until after Nathan Wade was hired. Now they're saying it's actually like a few years before then, 2019. So, they digging themselves deeper into this hole. McCaffrey didn't dismiss the hearing that's going to schedule for tomorrow on Monday, because he said there's more than enough stuff here for to have this Thursday hearing. And on top of all that, the man that Fani Willis is trying to go after, Donald J. Trump, for election interference in the Georgia 2020 election, guess what? He's going to show up at the hearing for the ultimate troll, as somebody said. Oh, man. Oh, yes, her goose is cooked. Definitely. Just stick a fork in her. She's done. Yep. Thing is, we don't know if anybody's going to be able to take this case afterwards. But then, the money they say, they could use it to, by not having this case, to fix the the backlog of cases in Fulton County, which is more important than Donald Trump's situation. So, yeah. Why do you think all these people was cheering Donald J. Trump after he came out of the jail in his his escort with the Secret Service? They were applauding him. They'd say "Free Trump" and so on. You think they were saying that just for the fun of it? No, they knew. They knew that when Fani Willis did that mugshot, he became a martyr. He became a hero to the community. Fani Willis played her hand dumb. Well, of course, that was her first mistake. The second mistake was Michael Roman, who was not indicted by the grand jury, but she decided to put him in anyway. It was his lawyer, Miss Merchant, who found out about the affair and all the other stuff. And she's from Cobb County, where the divorce was filed. Isn't that lovely? It's like two trains meet on the same track, and no, they don't collide, but they see each other and say, "Hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? Something's not right. Why is both of us here?" It was like a collision course about to happen. And unfortunately for Fani Willis, it did happen. No collision, but it was enough to spark some interest that even the mainstream media is now condemning her. Even The View is condemning her. Well, maybe one time they were cheering her on and so on. Now they don't even know her. Oh, and they released a book about the 2020 case in Georgia about finding the votes. I would suggest not to get the book because it turns out that the two knucklehead reporters who wrote this book interviewed Fani Willis about 6 times for this book. And they say, oh, now with the scandal coming out after the book was published, they're probably going to do a paperback. No, I would suggest not to. Because if you keep buying the book, you're making things better for Fani Willis instead of worse. This is the publicity that she was seeking. I think the good publicity should end, and the bad publicity should be continuing, because she don't deserve no credit. She don't deserve anything for what she had done. She did the community wrong. She did the country wrong. She did the taxpayer wrong. She did everybody wrong. And if your father had to throw your lover out of your apartment, that is not a very good sign. Yes, Fanny, I meant you. So this is Al Can saying so long for now. Don't forget to stop and try watching Atlanta First News or some other news outlet to see who's putting the 9:15 broadcast live on YouTube or whatever your provider is. Good night.